Okay, so imagine waking up to like a splash of ice cold water straight to the face.
Ouch, yeah, that'll definitely wake you up.
Right, and that is exactly what reading The Architect of Discipline, Building Your Own Empire feels like. It is completely shocking, but immediately clarifying.
It really doesn't hold back.
Not at all. So our mission for today's deep dive is to look past that super aggressive drill sergeant tone of the text and, extract the core psychological mechanics hiding in there. We want to figure out why we get stuck and how we actually change.
Because stripping away all those exclamation points actually reveals a highly accurate diagnosis of human behavior. I mean, biologically, we are neurologically wired to conserve energy.
We're lazy, basically.
Well, our brains naturally default to the path of least resistance. We reward immediate comfort.
Like hitting snooze.
Exactly. You get a quick hit of dopamine for staying in bed. But the reward for long-term growth, that stays totally abstract and delayed.
Which leads directly into this incredibly sobering reality check from the source. The author literally just says, no one is coming.
Yeah, that's a rough pill to swallow.
It is. No one is coming to wake you up or, push you or fix your life. The text bluntly states, easy choices create a hard life, but hard choices create an easy life.
It forces us to confront that biological friction, right? Between what we say we want and what we actually do every single day.
Oh wait, is it really that black and white? Like waking up every single morning to this stark existential crossroad before I've even had my coffee? That just sounds utterly exhausting.
I mean, it is exhausting if you view it as a perpetual struggle. But the goal here is behavioral conditioning. You're front-loading the discomfort.
Front-loading it. Right, so you get it over with.
Precisely. And the text uses this slightly anxiety-inducing image to drive it home. The idea that someone out there is grinding while you're sleeping.
Oh yeah, taking the life you wanted.
Yes. And look, that isn't just motivational hype. It is a cognitive trick.
Because it makes it feel real.
Right. It makes the unseen future cost of choosing daily comfort feel visceral and immediate. You pay a steep price for that comfort,
You just don't get the bill until years later.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me, though. If fighting our biological default is that exhausting, what is the actual mechanism keeping us moving? Because waiting around to feel like doing the work clearly isn't sustainable.
No, it definitely isn't.
Because I've always thought of motivation as the engine. But treating motivation as your primary fuel is basically like waiting for a bus that isn't even on the schedule.
You have literally no idea if it's ever going to show up.
Exactly.
And discipline, in that scenario, is choosing to walk. I mean, yeah, it's slower and it requires way more energy up front, but you are entirely in control of the schedule. Right. The text draws a very hard line here. It says motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. Discipline builds empires.
Showing up when you are tired, broke, scared, or just entirely bored.
Because motivation is just an emotion. It's highly vulnerable to neurochemical fluctuations. But discipline is executing the action regardless of your internal state, which completely reframes the concept of failure. The author writes that you aren't stuck, you aren't unlucky, and you aren't weak.
You are just not disciplined yet.
Yes. Just adding that word yet strips away all the heavy identity baggage.
It democratizes success. Not yet moves achievement from being this magical innate trait you happen to lack
to an action you can choose right now.
Exactly. And from a neuroplasticity standpoint, every time you take that action despite not wanting to, you are physically rewiring your brain.
Wait, really? Physically rewiring?
Yeah, you are thickening the neural pathways associated with that behavior. So over time, the hard choice actually requires less cognitive load.
So just picture where you'll be a year from now. People will look at you and say, wow, you changed.
But they'll be completely unaware of the hidden pain.
Right, the sweat and those nights you kept going when every cell in your body screamed to quit. The only way to get to that year from now reality is to stop waiting until you feel ready.
The author defines discipline as doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to.
But think about this before we wrap up. What happens to your identity when, through sheer repetition, those hard choices finally become your new normal?
Does the struggle ever actually end?
Or do you just graduate to a higher level of hard? Start today and find out.